Welcome to Three Dudes and a Bible, honest conversations about faith, life, and Scripture. Every week we dig into real questions with real talk. Let's get started.
Well, here we are. Three dudes, but they're different dudes. And we have our Bibles, so we're good to go.
Yeah.
We're excited to, we said that we were going to do this from time to time, have some different people. As most of you know, Jonathan is
in the Philippines.
He's in the Philippines.
Yeah, and my wife is in the Philippines.
That's right. So we took an advantage of our guest to come in, and I'm going to ask the pastor to introduce him a bit. But we're excited to see what's happened, and I'm going to remind everybody again, share this video and share this podcast and share it with people. And the goal really is to get to know our leadership and also get behind what we're trying to do. So, Pastor Mark, if you will, if you introduce our guest, and
I'd be honored to. Yeah, so this is Mike Newcomb. He is the overseer, the bishop of New Mexico. New time being a bishop.
It is.
Yeah, he
Good
was
times.
he was a pastor. Him and I, we kind of went in the Church of God together at a similar time. We were attending church in Virginia together, and I went off to Kuwait. He stayed in Virginia, and then pastored in Louisiana. Did a church revitalization there, a complete revitalization. That was part of his journey, and but God has linked us together over the years, even though we've been miles apart. He's just been like a brother to me, and now he is. I believe he's exactly where he's supposed to be. Him and his wife Stephanie are tremendous overseers, and they're doing a great job in New Mexico. And I'm gonna let him tell you all about it. But I just want to say to you all, you're gonna hear about the problems and the challenges that they face. But really, what I want you to see today is Mike's heart. Mike has always been a servant leader. He's probably, and I'm not want to give him the big head, but he is when you think about a giver, Mike is a giver. He leads the way in his generosity and giving, and that's not just finances, although finances has always been a part of his life. Yeah. But man, you've always been the type, Mike, and that's what I love about you. You're not the type that says, we need to do something. You're the type that says, not only do we need to do something, but I'm going to get my hands in the dirt and do it with you.
I love it. I love it.
And I mean, he's the guy that, he's going to have a hammer in his hand, and he's going to be, you're a business owner, an entrepreneur, laid carpet, laid flooring, and now you're in New Mexico, and share with us these stories about that situation there and what you're dealing with, Mike, and just I want people to hear about the ministry needs there that you're working through.
Well, just thinking through my journey to get to that place, if I go back, 13 years, I was just a business owner and doing my thing. My wife was a ER nurse for 20 years. And the Lord called us into ministry, and I just want to be honest, I didn't want to go.
Yeah,
I really kind of left kicking and screaming a little bit. Thank goodness for my wife. She's the one that really helped push me into making that step. And we did go to Louisiana, and without a doubt, that was just a vital piece of our journey. Right. That God's had us on. If we hadn't have made that step, I don't think we'd be here today, for sure. And so that the obedience in doing that, even though, and the grace, because like I said, I was kicking and screaming a little bit.
Now, I respect that. That's something I think you and I are and like spirited about is you left everything. You guys had. I remember because you invited me over your home, beautiful home in Virginia. And a life, you had established a life. Yep. You knew everybody. I mean, when he was the businessman in the town, and yet God called you to like really and truly like Abraham to leave everything and to go to Louisiana and to do this work. And
It
you guys
still
did.
gives me chills. Actually, when I think about that we did that, and I'm really serious, it'll sometimes make my palms sweat. That to think that we actually did that. That
Yeah.
we were made that step. But that was a great season in our life, without a doubt. One of our most exciting seasons, really, that first step into faith like that, and it really was a great season for us. And I'm so thankful that Stephanie pushed me a little bit,
Yeah.
and we made that step, and it was a good season for us. Sure
And
was.
then God called you from there. And boy, I saw the church in Louisiana. And let me just say this, like everything that Mike did when he left Virginia, went to Louisiana, it was just lining him up for what God has called him to do in New Mexico. And so, like he, again, when he was in Louisiana, Louisiana is hurricanes all the time.
Yep.
And so it's literally disaster relief is always needed, like every year, right? It's
Oh,
it's
absolutely.
always-
Just
about
about.
every year. And so Mike was just always going into other churches, helping clean it up, putting up new walls. He's kind of like a builder, if you would think, a spiritual builder, but a physical builder. And then you left. God called you to Texas. And how long were you in Texas for?
It was 5.5 years, both places. 5.5 years in Louisiana.
Okay.
Then we were in Texas 5.5 years. Texas was a revitalization situation as well. Not quite like Louisiana. It was different, but there again, we were really blessed there.
Yeah.
And God just allowed us to enjoy just much success in that season.
Yeah.
And we've never really saw ourselves moving west of where Louisiana is, being from the East Coast, and now we find ourselves in New Mexico. So anyway, but it's been the New Mexico season. We've been there a year and a half now. So that season has been a good season. Seems like it's going by really fast, but we have 51 churches. About half of those churches would be just Hispanic or English churches, just like most of your viewers are familiar with. The other half of those churches are Navajo Indian churches. They have a couple Apache churches, but the majority of them are Navajo churches. And that's definitely that culture has been a learning process for Stephanie and myself, just learning the ins and outs. I don't speak any of it, but Stephanie can say a few words.
Okay.
But anyway, but it's wonderful people, sweet people. And they love the Lord. They're very dedicated to the Lord, and it's been a good season. We're facing some challenges there, but I know God's helping us, and looking forward to see what comes in the future there.
What are some of the challenges that you guys face?
Well, the most of the Navajo culture is a very impoverished culture.
Okay.
And I still have churches that don't have running water or indoor plumbing. I have churches that still use an outhouse,
That's
for the for their needs.
Wow.
And most of them don't have any place for the children to go. They're just one room sanctuaries. Be 1,200 square foot room, and it's just a sanctuary for that day. I have churches that have to set up tables outside in the yard to have children's church on Sunday, provided the weather's permitting.
Now I've been to Africa. I've been to third world countries. I've traveled extensively all over the world, and I've seen that kind of stuff like in the Sudan.
Yep.
I remember Sushil, who we support financially, and we support 2 missionary pastors, Indian pastors who work in the Sudan, who have churches under trees a lot of times. But folks, this is in the United States of America.
In the United States, yeah. Hey, just an hour and a half from a city of 1 million people. Yeah, Albuquerque has got roughly, in the greater Albuquerque area, is roughly a million people there.
Wow.
So within an hour and a half of there, you have these type of situations, and let me say that's no fault of the American government or anything. It's all tribal land, so there's just a different set of circumstances and issues you have to deal with. But we are making some headway. We have already been able to put water and indoor plumbing in 2 churches in 18 months.
Praise God.
And that's at the tune of about $40,000 a church. And so it's no small task. The Lord's connected me with some people that can help me with those projects physically. The biggest challenge for us at this point, obviously, is just raising that money, those funds to do that. And, we should be probably where we are another 2.5 years before we would move anywhere else. And so that's really the goal that I have, Stephanie and I together, a goal and a dream, I guess you could say, is to be able, when we leave that area, when we leave that assignment, is to say that God was able to help us. Because I was getting ready to say that we did this. Listen, this task is so much bigger than we are. It's just a privilege, really, just to be able to be used in this venue that we find ourselves in now. But, we're just excited to be a part of what God's doing there and believe that He's going to help us accomplish that in the time that we're there.
It's amazing. I was thinking about it. I think, Mike, we met when Pastor Keith Haas was here.
Yeah, probably about 5 years ago, probably.
And you've been a big part of putting carpet in our place,
Right.
and we probably wouldn't have carpet if it wasn't for you, and the blessing that comes with that.
I think half the
churches,
Church of God churches probably are
Right.
carpeted by
That's
Mike
it.
Nichols.
right? And that's something that's
Could that be a division? Could we
Yeah.
make that? I'd
Yeah.
like to sign up for that. Could that be a division?
well, you've probably put more altars in, I guess
That's
you
it.
could say.
Yeah, there you go.
But I was just thinking about it. It's like, you probably wouldn't have met Pastor Keith if you didn't go to Louisiana, right?
That's right. That's where we
right.
connected.
And
Yeah.
and so, but you came. I know your wife. I know a backstory. Your wife actually knew Christy.
Yeah.
I think we went to high school
They
together.
went to high school together.
You know,
They have some
and
stories.
and
Yeah.
and I really, I think that's the way the kingdom works, and
Connections.
and the Church of God. But
Yes.
the kingdom works in such an interesting way that you're sitting here right now.
It's
it.
Right
built
now.
on connections.
It is. It
Built
really
on
is.
connections and relationships. And one of the things that we were really talking about here at Stewart Road is family.
Yeah.
And so you can come in here. You helped us build the house, and you're also like-minded in kingdom building. And one of the things that we're here at church learning at this church, because of the strategy and vision that was given to Pastor Mark, is that kingdom building doesn't look just like a church.
That's
It's
right.
it's what we're doing with the community, and it's just interesting to see how like-minded the two of you are. That it didn't say go plant a corner church and just be inside that corner church. God told us to go make disciples.
That's it.
And it's interesting to me that digging a well
Yeah.
or building a bathroom in a church is really making disciples.
Yeah.
That's just a phenomenal concept that I think that actually is a great story for our church. That we need to learn also, that it's not just inside inside the building.
Yes, absolutely.
It's been kind of humbling for me to see. I was telling Pastor Mark last night. There's a church that I preached at on a Sunday, and this church actually has no electricity or water. They have a little solar panel system, and as long as it's not cloudy, they can run one microphone.
Oh my gosh.
And I mean, but what's amazing is the excellence that they operate in, and I really mean that. It would blow your mind. When we got there, it's the little church was sitting in the middle of a dirt pad. When we got there, there was a girl 10, 12 years old out there with a broom sweeping the walk off to make sure nobody brought dirt into the church building. You walk into the church building, they were burning a wood stove to keep it warm enough to have service, but there wasn't a speck of dust or dirt on the floor. It just really humbling experience for me. Maybe I'm different, but Lord knows I've complained so many times throughout my ministry because things didn't go a certain way or they weren't just right.
Yeah.
And then you walk into a situation like that and see people that don't even have a light switch to flick.
Yeah.
And they don't even have a bathroom to go to. Boy, that'll humble you pretty quick. And you just say, Lord, forgive me for being such a jerk. About small things when here people.
Speak on that for a second because, you've preached at our church on perspective and I, that you can be in bad times and have the right perspective in those bad storms or those bad seasons. Speak to that for a minute.
One thing that kind of led me to that sermon, if you really start at the beginning of the Bible with Adam and Eve, all the situations that they faced, and then go to the very end with John, the Revelator, and the situation he found himself in on the Isle of Patmos, everything in between, it's a story of people that often found themselves in seasons of less, not their best seasons. But the entire book is filled. Jesus himself. I mean, you could just pick person after person. And keeping the proper perspective about where you are is so important. And if you keep that proper perspective, it gives you hope for tomorrow. You may not can control everything about where you are, the season you're in now. Yeah. But listen, this is a fact. The hope for tomorrow is your power for today. If you don't have hope for tomorrow, there's no power for today. And anyway, it's just something God's been working with me on, and I just believe that's a word that can be encouraging to everybody.
Yeah, that's a good word, man. Good word.
Well, and you even think about, for anybody that didn't get a chance to see the sermon, it goes along a little bit with what our word is for this year, which is arise and shine. Mm-hmm. And when we feel like we're in the desert, when we're down, we have a tendency to just sit there and complain. Mm-hmm. Why am I down? Yeah. And really what the right action is to stand up, recognize our hope, and start moving out and rise up and shine. And that's right. And I'm even thinking about that, that an opportunity to rise up might be, maybe there's somebody out there that wants to write a $40,000 check. Let's dig a well.
Yeah,
Or a group of young adults. This is what I've been trying to say. A group of young adults that head out there and help you build a bathroom or something like that. There's a lot of opportunity for us to build a kingdom and to partner with you. You've surely partnered with us at this church and what we can do. Yeah. Along with that.
Well, sometimes when I look at what we're doing in that region, and even in my New Mexico proper side, I have a lot of churches that are in great need there as well. They do have indoor plumbing, but it's still a lot of great. The largest church I have in the entire region runs 100 people, and most of them are 50 or less. So, I have a lot of needs just in general.
How many churches do you have total?
51.
51 churches. Now, for the listeners that don't know this, in the Church of God, you have overseers, administrative bishops, have states that are non-mission states, and then churches that are mission states. Yeah. And you're in a mission state. I am. Meaning it has to be supported 100% by Cleveland, the help of Cleveland, and then people just generously giving and
Yeah,
sowing.
it supported the majority of that support. Cleveland helped subsidize me so I can draw a salary, but all the support for the churches is 100% church generated. So it's 100% church generated, and so I have to, not counting any projects, I have to raise about $100,000 a year. Not counting any projects.
Wow.
And the Lord's helped us do that. We've
Yeah.
been extremely blessed.
Yeah.
And the adding on in the past, the New Mexico proper, if you will, and then the Navajo Indian side has been separate. So this is the first time that I have both of those together. So I have 2 ladies conferences, I have 2 camp meetings, I have 2 prayer conferences. So everything we have in our state is doubled because you have to do one, for the Navajos and then one for English and Hispanic. And but it's going well. We've been blessed. I appreciate that Cleveland's given us this opportunity to make a
sure.
difference in this region.
Well, so Mike, you don't know this. You're obviously our guest is here, but we for the whole month have launched kind of a campaign. It's called City on a Hill. It's a series that I've been doing for the whole month of February, and something that we've done the last 2 years. This is our second year doing it. Is we are, by being a city on a hill, we're dedicating the whole month of February to loving generously. And so we're doing that 3 different ways. We're loving our community, we're loving our nation, and we're loving the world. And so community-wise, we've given to the House of Selah. We've given, what was the other one, Doug, that we did? Do you remember?
Something of hope.
Yeah, and so we've been given locally to different missions and that are local missions. This is going to be a national missions, and so it's going to be something that's going to go towards helping our churches in the national arena. The following week, the last week of February, we're going to be giving money to the Philippines to Hope for All Children, where Christy and Jonathan are at. But right now, this is an opportunity that we have to just continue to love others, and looking forward to. I'm really looking forward to what God's going to do.
Which is also on Wednesday nights. We've been going through 1 Corinthians 13th chapter, and it was kind of interesting. Yesterday, by no choice of my own, I want you to know, I spent 3 hours with a Hindu guy.
Oh, wow.
Oh, interesting.
Very interesting. Riding the car
Yeah.
around. The guy actually met Mother Teresa. And it was interesting because we were having a conversation about love. And his perspective of love really was to be nice.
Yeah.
Right? And one of the things that we've been learning, and Pastor on Wednesday night talking about, that love what we do with love is everlasting.
Sure.
Right? Because if we're listening and we're trying to do things for God's children because of what we hear, it's a lot different than what a Hindu thinks.
Exactly.
Which is really a selfish love, which is I'm going to love you because it impacts what happens to me.
Right.
And really this sacrificial kind of love where we're taking on, or helping churches in New Mexico, people we don't even know, or in India or wherever it is. Love is first about listening to what God is saying, and then understanding that His children are just like us, and our job is to love them. And it's been a very impactful series, really. And I recommend, I'll say it again, Wednesday nights. If you're not here, first of all, it's growing. Every week, it's like we have to keep moving the amount of people that are coming. It's really great, especially the young adults.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've noticed, but the young adults are
Man, that's
starting
exciting.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
good.
maybe up to half of the people that we have on a Wednesday night are young adults,
That's awesome.
and it's pretty impressive.
In fact, I was speaking of young adults. I'm hoping that, and I briefly mentioned this to you, Mike, but I'm hoping that not only that we can contribute financially to the Navajo region and these churches, but if we could put together sometime maybe next year a project and take some young adults that can just go and say, hey, we want to serve for a week down there, you know, and do some
We
things.
can house you. We can house up to about 40 people at the time.
Really? Mm-hmm. Wow.
Well, and I could probably put a trailer together that would probably be about 2 bathrooms worth of stuff, because that's what I do.
Yeah.
So we're going to figure out how to
we're
do
gonna
it.
figure out how
We're
to
going to
do it.
figure out
Let's
how to
do
do it, and it's some of my favorite. I'm from out there. It's
Yeah.
it's a great. It's a
And
That's
you know,
right. You're a California boy, right?
That's it. I was telling him earlier today about 50% of the people in New Mexico are California transplants. But, the project that I showed the church yesterday, right before I preached, that project, we're going to have a team to come in after that building's put up and just finish out those 2 bathrooms. Put sheetrock on the wall and paint those bathrooms and just do some easy finish work really for a team of folks. But that would be a great project for somebody like yourself, or maybe somebody listening, that doesn't even attend this church. Listen, I'm part of the Church of God, but the ministry is non-denominational across the board. I just want to tell you, if you're Baptist, Methodist, twice removed Episcopalian, and you want to serve, we'll take you.
Amen. Amen. That's funny.
I agree. Well, Mike, I'm glad you stopped in.
Yeah,
and,
man.
and,
I appreciate you guys having me. I'll tell you, this is my first podcast.
Yeah.
Man.
Wow, I feel like that's an honor, man.
I did. I asked Pastor Morris, does this mean I've gone viral? He said, well, I don't know about that. But,
Maybe this will be the one.
we haven't gone viral yet, but that's
No,
okay
that's
too.
funny.
But,
That's funny.
But it's
It's
really
funny, the name. Our media guy who's sitting over there, who Andrew, who put this together, he came up with the name, and none of us liked it at first, but it's really just stuck with people.
kind of been catchy.
well, we
it
called
is-
it a working name, but it almost is. It's working.
It's working. It's working.
working. It's
And
working.
so we're it's a different 3 dudes, but we're 3 dudes in
yeah.
a Bible.
That's it. That's awesome. That's good. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, thank you very much,
Man, thank you guys for having
and look
me.
forward to the next interaction,
That's
wherever
it.
that is.
Yeah, thank you
All
for
right?
letting me share. It's been awesome.
Great. Well, thank you, everybody, and look forward to next week again.
That wraps up this episode of 3 Dudes and a Bible, produced by Stewart Road Church. Be sure to subscribe and join us for new episodes every week. See you next time.